In example 2, we're given that the sine is negative 2/3 and the tangent is greater than 0, and it wants us to find the cosine and the cotangent. Well, the first thing we need to look at is when it says that the tangent is greater than 0, we need to know that the tangent is positive in the first and the fourth quadrants here. Sine and cosine are also positive here. Everything, I believe, sine, cosine, tangent are positive here. Sine is negative, cosine is positive, tangent is negative in the fourth quadrant. Sine is negative, and the cosine is negative there in the third. In the second quadrant, the sine is positive, cosine and tangent values are both negative there. So that's the first thing I would look at. And so for the tangent to be greater than 0 and the sine to be negative, we have to be down here in the fourth quadrant, a positive tangent and negative sine. So we know we're in the fourth quadrant for this angle. So I'm going to draw my angle. It's going to be down here. This is theta. I know that x is negative 2, comma something, and we don't know why. But we know it's going to be negative, comma something. And so I'm going to use the formula r squared equals x squared plus y squared, knowing that r value, since sine is y over x, y over r, excuse me, this should have been something comma negative 2. We don't know what x is yet. So r is 3, and so 3 squared equals x squared plus negative 2 squared. 9 equals x squared plus 4. X squared equals 5, so x equals the positive or the negative square root of 5. And since we're in the third quadrant, it's going to be negative comma negative, so I know it's going to be the negative square root of 5 is going to be x. Okay, so to find the cosine, it's x over r, and so it's going to be negative square root of 5 over 3. There's the cosine. Find the cotangent. The cotangent is known as x over y, and so that's going to be negative square root of 5 over the y value of negative 2, and holding true to a positive tangent, which means cotangent is also positive in the third, it's going to be positive square root of 5 over positive 2. Okay? Go ahead and try the one in your book that says tangent of theta equals negative 15/8, and where the sine of theta is less than 0, and we want you to see if you can find the other trig functions. Okay? Press pause, come back, see if you got it right. Okay? Well, the sine turned out to be negative 15 over 17. Cosine turned out to be 8 over 17. We already have tangent. Cotangent is negative 8 over 15. Secant is 17 over 8. And the cosecant is negative 17 over 15. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead. If you got that right, great. If not, I'll work it out for you right now. Alright, so I went ahead and draw my angle. I know tangent is y over x, so that tells me to go to 8 comma negative 15, which puts me in quadrant 4. Sine has to be less than 0, has to be negative, and tangent negative. That confirms right here. Sine is negative, tangent is negative. Confirms I am in quadrant 4 with the ordered pair of 8 comma negative 15. And so now I find r. So r squared equals 8 squared plus negative 15 squared. R squared equals 64 plus 225. R squared equals 289. So r equals 13. Now I just go through to find sine. Y over r. I don't know why I keep putting 13 squared. 289 is 17. Y over r. X over r. The inverse of tangent, the inverse of cosine, the inverse of sine. That's how you get your answers.